Yo, welcome back to the Pure Dead Brilliant podcast. Today we're joined by the usuals, me, Charlie, and Lewis. And no matter where you're listening, I'm sure you'll have a great time. So lay back and enjoy.
And today we are discussing the current state of YouTube, drama involving small commentary channels, sports, and a lot more. So yeah, get yourself a cup of Joe and just relax. As we said in our intro, I got into a semi-controversy on Twitter as of recent. I don't know if you guys know about it. I assume you know, I know Lewis knows a little bit.
Little bit.
Do you, Lewis?
Little bit.
Right. Essentially.
Why my phone going off? I never get messages.
Are you alright?
It's pissing me off. Sorry.
You're so unprofessional, man. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
See
Anyway.
when I'm not recording, my phone never goes off. But now that we're recording, it goes off all the time.
Anyway, so essentially this small commentary channel called Icy Dreams made a very transphobic comment which released hell on fucking planet Earth as it stood. Another YouTuber made a response video, yada yada yada, because he tried to educate, blah blah blah. So obviously I stood up for the one that made the response video, if you get me. And holy shit. I did not know there's a side to small commentary channels that we haven't seen. For example, Joe, me, and Lewis, we're on a whole different side. They're not commentary channels, they're just channels in general, right? But, well, what would you actually say your channel is, Joe? Like, see if you could give yourself a genre. What would you class yourself as? Just a jack of all trades, or
just a, in very, very large quotation marks, entertainer.
Aye,
That's
very large,
it.
mate. Very large.
Aye. Shut up.
That-
man.
what would you class yourself as, Lewis?
A gamer.
Shite.
A game? Yeah, fair
A
enough.
shite
You do a
gamer.
lot.
Both of them. A shite gamer.
Oh, there you go.
I was a gaming channel primarily, but I decided to branch off a wee bit because I realized that I was draining the life out of me. Like, it drains the soul out of you, and I think you'll probably understand. You'll see, for example, right? You fucking hate OBS, right? Let's be real.
Well,
It pisses me off too, right? I despise it.
so many times.
Yeah. It's
but I
so.
fixed it.
I'm glad. But there is still times where it can fuck up, and it annoys me so much. Anyway, but so when you have to record like gaming videos, you gotta use OBS or Elgato or something, right? And it really gets to a point where you're just kind of making it for the sake of making it, and it really fucking drains your soul. And I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, but see when you made those trailers and stuff, it was quite a nice breakaway from your usual gaming
Yeah.
shit, yeah. And it just when you start feeling drained of life, when you make these, for example, Disposition or Lonely or whatever,
Mhm.
it felt nice to just have a wee break.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Side note, when the fuck is that coming out, Joe?
What one?
That's so
Dispossession.
sad that you have to say that. Yeah, Disposition.
Disposition. That's definitely later down the line compared to Lonely.
Fair enough. For context, to the new viewers or old or whatever, Joe has made trailers on his channel depicting big projects of his, right? So obviously they're going to take a long time, right? But this man has taken time. But we've come to the conclusion.
COVID-19.
That's true. I don't know if you're using that as an excuse or
I'm
what,
definitely
but
not.
that.
The Lonely stuff was ready to go, and then we were told we couldn't leave.
Oh yeah.
And then it was
fair
like
enough.
4 months of just in the house. So
Mhm. Would you like to actually? Yeah, I shouldn't describe what it is, right? You give the content. Do you want to tell a short summary of what Disposition and Lonely actually is?
well, Dispossession is, I wouldn't say a feature film, but it's the first long length film I was actually going to make, and it was based off of what would I say? Based off of my first ever piece of creative writing when I was younger, and I still have the original piece. It's just it was a movie based in a dispossessed world, and it's not like your like zombie apocalypse film or anything like that. But it's just about finding love in an empty world where there's nothing left. That's
Jesus.
dispossession.
Yeah.
And I struggle to find love in a world where there is love.
But that's so from that short summary there for disposition. Also, that got us excited and shit. But then coronavirus and
Coronavirus.
just needs to like gather a crew. And I hate that woman. I
Me too,
genuinely Cardi B.
No, what's her name? Mother Teresa.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, I don't want to segue too much, but Joe, would you like to also tell them what lonely is?
Lonely is almost like a documentary based on a lot of stuff I deal with, and a lot of stuff, especially young men and young women, will deal with anxiety and maybe sometimes depression. You could have as many friends, you could have a girlfriend, you could have whatever you want, but you could still feel lonely in your heart and in your heart and in your brain. And it's just about dealing with that loneliness. And honestly, it's just a project that could maybe help someone else. So I know I really struggled with it, still do, but it's one of those.
Yeah. And Joe also like read me like just a wee segment of like the script he was going to build for it, and it was very.
Deep in it.
It was, yeah, not just because you're my mate and hearing you say it like hit a wee bit, but it was very relatable to young people or just anybody, to be honest. And I know when he releases it, I'll promote it like fuck, and I hope he does too. And it's just I hope it does really well because I think it's going to be like a really good production, and I think people should keep their eyes out for it.
Yes,
Links and descriptions to the trailers if Lewis remembers.
Let's hope so.
just put the channel. Just go into the
Just the
channel.
channel, right? Go to the
Have a
channel,
browse.
find it yourself.
Go on to IGP90, subscribe, then find Lonely and Disposition.
Or just
Thank
go
you.
through all these videos.
Oh, yeah, or just give them all the views you can.
Like them all.
Like them
Yeah.
all, watch them all, subscribe, share them all. That's it.
And that's what we like to hear. Because yeah, that's all. But yeah, going back to the whole
Drama.
drama, yeah. So also
Oh,
on
big
one
bloody cars.
on alright. On
They get me
one
going.
side of are you okay?
No, piss me off. Everything's pissing me off today. Anyway, right, drama.
On one side of the spectrum in the YouTube community, right? There's that we're talking specifically about commentating channels here, right? Commentary channels. On one side, there's the likes of the small commentators like Tom GW, Marley, all those people. You guys probably don't know, but they are pretty big in the small community, if that makes sense.
Here it goes again. Jesus Christ. These bloody
What?
cars.
What are you talking
You do
about?
realise we can't hear them.
Oh, they'll get picked up on the mic. You maybe can't
Oh,
hear
they
them, but
aren't.
it'll get picked up in OBS, I bet you.
Bet. Anyway,
Bet.
but yeah, those are one side of the commentary, fucking small commentary genre, right? And they're quite funny, likable, yada yada. Then there's what I like to call the Leafy effect, right? It's almost like some people aspire to be serial killers. It's a bit of a stretch, right? But people aspire to be killers in some sense if they have a calling card, like Jack the Ripper killing female workers and night. All that shit. People look up to these people, whether they be sick or twisted. As for Leafy, he was probably the most problematic guy on the site, and people looked up to him and respected him. I know when I was a younger guy, I very much enjoyed his content, but then it dried out and then it just became sad and pathetic, in my personal opinion. Did you guys ever like Leafy?
Didn't
I'm
mind
just
them.
kind of in the middle. Don't really care.
Fair. He's just a very controversial and problematic man. To say it lightly, right? And a lot of new channels spawned from him, from not just his departure, but when he arrived as well. So many people. It also dawned the whole having an animated character on screen. You know, he had that wee shitty
Aye.
Photoshop picture of him on a dinosaur, or whatever the fuck it
Oh, I
was.
love that.
Anyway, so a lot of people spawned wee characters or sprites or whatever, and just have them like on the screen, a wee avatar, right? And that's where the likes of Lieutenant Symphix, where the fuck his name's called, in Icy Dreams comes from. Anywho, that's a side you don't want to associate with. From died out humor that doesn't really exist on the platform, or shouldn't really exist on the platform today, and they have a fucking very black and white view of the world. For example, if you're on YouTube, you should have a very more open-minded perspective. You should understand from all sides of the spectrum where everybody stands and why they feel the way they do. For example, even though I don't agree with what AC said or how he defended it, it was I guess I do understand why he is defending it. So to cut out all the waffling, and I'm not here for fucking ages, right? The reason this was such a big fucking issue was because commentary channels with like over fucking like 500 subs, so they all came out the woodwork supporting this cunt and shit with such flawed logic. It was unbelievable the shit they were saying, right? But as much as I want to discuss Icy's antics and stuff, that's not actually the drama I'm going to be discussing in this podcast. Because I'm fucking doing my own video on that, and then I don't want to spoil anything or whatever. All you gotta look is at my Twitter and see the idiocy. Oh, that's funny. I fucked that word up. Anyway, yeah, thank you, Joe. But yeah, just look at my Twitter and then you can see the fucking fuck, right? But what I am actually going to discuss is Lewis, I know you're going to get this. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I want Lewis to talk. So
What's this?
one channel made a tweet saying he feels uncomfortable when people make kill old men jokes towards him, or it's straights, something like that, right? It was either, no, I think it was kill old straights. Yeah, kill straights, right? He feels uncomfortable with the joke, yada yada yada, right? You would think that would be fine, right? That he was allowed to say, yeah, he feels uncomfortable by a joke. Do you think he was okay? Do you think people didn't get mad? People were fucking outraged, right? But before the outrage happened, right, I made a tweet saying, guys, if somebody is uncomfortable with a joke, don't fucking make the joke around them. Whether you find it funny or if you think they're a snowflake, don't make the joke around them if it genuinely makes them fucking uncomfortable. And I think all of us can agree on that, yeah?
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Do you think anybody had a fucking brain cell?
Is
No.
Twitter so no?
Well, there was obviously some people that supported it, but I would say it was probably a 60-40 split. 60 going out their way to make Connor uncomfortable. Literally, all the quote tweets fucking overpowered the likes, and there's just him, just people making like kill straight jokes or whatever, just making really sad and pathetic straight jokes towards them, right? And right, I don't really give a shit about jokes, right? It doesn't affect me, the straight jokes or whatever, but it's a fact he said he was uncomfortable, so people targeted him even more, and I think that is a fucking scummy thing to do. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
And they came from my fucking throat too, right?
Yeah.
I got the fucking tweet got pushed around so much what I made, right? Because it got like it kind of blew up for me, right? It got to the K-pop fucking fan base,
Oh Jesus.
and oh my god, yeah. See from that reaction, you already know what happened. I got fan cam spammed under the post.
I know
got-
someone that's part of the K-pop thing, but I'm not going to say.
Oh.
I'm not going to say her name.
Right. Off. Anyway, they were saying like they were so fucking idiotic as well about it because they were missing the whole purpose of my tweet. Like I didn't, and they were twisting it so much, right? I had DMs, fucking messages from all sides, publicly and privately, saying straight men are not oppressed. It's not true. It's like I never said they were. When in my tweet, I only said if someone's uncomfortable, don't make the joke.
I actually can't
I'm
believe this, by the way.
And
You're,
people,
you're making all this podcast episode about yourself, aren't you?
yes, essentially, because it fucking irritated me that people were twisting it. Like, Lewis, I'm surprised you don't have more to say on it, because you're so
Straight.
you what? But everyone was saying like, I was saying that straight people aren't oppressed when I never fucking said that. All I said was, don't make people feel uncomfortable around a joke. Someone even commented, right, saying nobody loves you. Someone said that over me saying,
I know, right?
not run, not run.
I'd dox them and get their address and their IP address and just go to their house and batter them. And they'd be like, "What are you doing here? I'm scared." And I'd be like, "Get up, you."
And literally,
Sorry, can I admit that in a podcast?
there was
Make them
reply,
against you in the future.
there was literally a reply saying like silence Hetty, and I said to them, I'm not a heterosexual, I'm literally bisexual. And then they're like, I'm not talking to you. Who the fuck are you talking to then? It's my fucking friend. Right, anyway, how do you guys feel about that whole shit fest? Because right, think
It
about
sums
it.
up Twitter.
It does, because the 60% of people that attacked me or Connor just didn't pay attention to the actual tweet. Because I said, but let's just talk about my side, right? I said, if someone's uncomfortable, don't make the joke. So they attacked me and said I was saying straight people are oppressed when I never said that. So how do you guys feel about that whole shit? About Twitter just fucking spamming fan cabs and being toxic as ever?
It's just Twitter.
It's
You
just
do it.
they all do it. They
True,
all
true.
think they're funny, but they're no.
But look, how specifically do you feel about straight jokes or kill men jokes?
It's no funny. Like, I have a dark sense of humour, but that's just no funny. And if it makes someone uncomfortable, don't say it.
It's as simple as that. Don't make a joke around somebody that's uncomfortable. It's like whether you have dark humor or not, right? It's like you can call me a faggot and I wouldn't care.
Oh, I
right?
need to bleep that out. Jesus Christ.
No, you don't.
Alright.
I can reclaim the slur. And I don't give a shit if you make homophobic jokes or whatever, right? But some people do care, and they're not snowflakes or whatever, right? It's just if they say they're uncomfortable with it, don't make the fucking joke around them. And that's essentially all I was saying. And people and Twitter being so toxic and caught up in their own fucking shit was ridiculous. There's one person, right, that was so fucking hilarious. Well, there's two people really, right? One person who is a commentary channel, which I'm not going to say, who is I'm in like a couple group chats with, was slagging me off to these people, right? Because I accidentally confused a band with K-pop. Because I didn't really watch, I just watched their fan cam, right? Because they spammed me a fan cam and said, you're the toxic side of K-pop Twitter, right? So it wasn't. It was like some rock and roll band or some shit, right? Anyway, they fucking put in like a group chat that I'm not a part of, but I saw it because somebody snaked them and sent it to me.
That's the worst thing ever. When people try and insult you, but they go to someone else to do it.
Literally,
it's not to your face.
The DM was, oh my god, I can't believe this keyboard smash. He is a whole ass grown man, and I was like, am I not allowed to have a fucking opinion on Twitch because I'm 18? So yeah, all that shit was just a fucking fucked up situation and a poor excuse for just causing drama when drama wasn't. It's just our opinions at the end of the day. So going after people's fucking throats, making jokes that make you uncomfortable and all that shit, just don't do it. Don't be a cunt and be a nice guy, essentially. Lewis and Joe, do you have anything you'd like to say before we move on?
Fuck Twitter.
I just agree with your points, and yes, fuck Twitter.
All my homies hate Twitter. I use it a lot, but all my homies hate.
There's some funny stuff on it. I like the Celtic stuff, but that's it.
There's some funny stuff and there's some good people. Minutes of
Aye, that was quality what you just said there.
did it cut out?
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh, it was bit.
I do hate when that happens. Like,
Twitter's really getting, and that's what I heard.
Some good
all my
on it.
Choose you on the eat.
Right,
But-
Charlie, continue.
sorry.
No,
Right,
they go. It's no funny now.
Right.
Charlie,
Right, yeah.
It's still recording. Come on.
you heard of Robin?
Robin.
Robbing your wallet.
It's Nick. It's Nick your wallet.
I wanted to find
I
twist on
hated
it.
that. I hated that so much.
Have you had the will?
No.
Will you see me at a table? Can I say, will you see me to my table, please?
You walk into a restaurant.
Did you,
You heard about? Huh? Will you see me at the fucking table, please?
did you see Dad?
No.
Me either. Right, let's move on. Right,
No, I've got
anyway,
one more. I've got one more. Have you seen? Have you? Have you got a menu, please?
they're so shit. Anyway, I
Have you
found,
got a menu?
and
That's keep that in.
It's
and
staying in.
I know the current state of YouTube is so fucking shit
We're talking
because it's
about Twitter, not
given.
YouTube yet.
No, but now we're talking about YouTube, lad.
Aye, well, you've not finished that. Twitter shit, right?
anyway.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Robbing the podcast.
Anyway, so yeah, the state of YouTube's fucking atrocious at the moment because they're giving small creators or just anybody a fucking platform, even though they make so many fucking comments. And I just can't be.
I get up with YouTube. No,
Yeah.
literally, but
I mean-
it's so much harder to get big now.
I love YouTube, but it's such a pain in the arse sometimes because they will either promote your video to fuck or they'll hide it from everybody.
I usually get hidden.
It's shit. Why did you get shadow banned? I assume that's what happened.
No, I just don't get. I don't get it in. I've got nearly 450 subs, right?
Yeah.
And I probably average about 30 views a video. Do that one. Do
Jeez,
the
man.
maths on that.
30 views is good for me though.
No, for me, it's no.
All right.
Usually it is, but my sub wise, no.
It's so
Up to
shit.
view ratio. Yeah.
Aye.
It's almost like if you're not a dickhead on YouTube, you can't survive.
Aye.
That's kind of where we're coming to at this moment. If you don't become a cunt, then you're not gonna fucking get a platform. Essentially, we love YouTube and hate it all at the same time because it can crush your fucking wee small channel. You know?
Crush your dreams even you don't have because you
Could-
didn't have them.
For example, did you not see Joe's most recent upload? He's a destroyed man in it.
And he's
No,
not uploading in a
great.
month. What do you
Joe,
viewers
actually,
think?
I think your saddest upload, Joe, I think it will beat Lonely by a mile. Is when you went off that live stream and you can get it back.
I'm still disheartened.
That guys, that's
We
iconic.
hunted that shiny shinks for days.
I remember that. Though.
Weeks.
That was
Got it live on stream with viewers there, and then we ended the stream, and the stream is still in YouTube Studio, but does not export. It's just constantly loading. But
I would
after
recommend
a little
looking
minute,
at a
I need to take
tutorial.
an interval.
Joe.
break.
Joe, before you go, I think you
Yes.
should look up a tutorial on YouTube to help you with that. And if I find one, I'll send you it
Thank you.
because I want you to make a wee clip of that like tournament battle we did because it was so cool. That was his best live stream of his life, and it was so fun. Like he actually had like viewers, what you call it, participation, and it was great. But we'll figure out a way to get that out, and then Joe can have a wee intro at the start, being like how happy he is. Anyway.
Exactly.
Is that on the sport?
Shut up! Right. Anyway, let's move on to sports.
That
With
podcast is
IGP.
a fucking mess.
it honestly is, but people seem to enjoy it. So
Aye.
well. Anyway, let's move on to sports with IGP90 and O-Spin's FTW.
No, I can't believe that.
No.
I'm leaving
That's
FTW
not your
anymore.
name anymore.
I've not been FTW for about a year.
Oh,
saying
man,
all
I'm
that.
sorry. I'm sorry.
You call me a fiend now, you don't even know your own pal's YouTube channel. Not having it.
I mean, it's not right.
That's true. Right. Do we start?
Yeah, on you go.
Right,
I'm eating
so-
dinner.
Okay. Aye, just mention you're doing a podcast. We're so professional. Anyway,
Well,
so tonight, obviously there's more than these two teams, but Celtic and Rangers, or Sefco, sorry, are playing tonight. Sefco are playing Galatasaray at home, and Celtic are playing Sarajevo away. And this is also the playoff, so if Celtic and Sefco / Rangers win, they both are in the Europa League group stages.
lovely stuff.
Yes. And I've got a wee bet on. I've got Sefco to win, Tottenham, and some Irish team. Don't like to say their name.
Lovely.
Aye. And what else? Have you got something else, or are we just going to move on to the handball rule?
I think we should just go to the handball rule.
All right.
A very interesting feature.
You want to go into this, or should I do it since you're still eating?
I mean, I'll
What's
chip
that?
in, but you should lead the story.
Okay. So basically, I think this has been going for a while, but a year. But it's been fully into effect the past like couple of weeks. So the new handball rule, it used to be if your hand was if you meant to handball it, it's a foul. If you didn't mean to handball it, then you play on. But now, if your hand is not by your side, which is basically impossible, because if you're running away from, if you're running like to attack or whatever and it hits your hand, handball, can't do anything about it. Right, it makes no sense.
Oh.
Can't you move your hand if you're running?
The worst bit I saw from it was it was a Spurs Newcastle game, and the game had ended, but they were checking for possible handball.
Ah.
Like a wee bit back, and it was on Eric Dyer, defender, in the box off a corner or a free kick. I don't remember. And Eric Dyer doesn't even see the ball; he just jumps to like get to it, so it doesn't go in the net. Obviously, the ball is behind him, hits his hand from the back, and then goes down, and they're awarded a penalty for that. How are you going to say that that was imposing and the defender's fault when he couldn't even see the ball?
It's the same as the Motherwell one. Went up for a head.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was either going up to head it or it was the player. I think it was the player behind him. It was whipped him for a corner from the Rangers player or Sefco player, and his hand was out, but then he put it back in his chest. It hit his hand that was at his chest, and he gave a penalty. Hand's by his side, or it's close to him. I hate
It's
it.
ruining it.
Let's just move to cricket.
And cricket news.
Cricket.
Well, guys, right, side note, right? See cricket. Have you seen the fucking trophies they're given?
Aye, like the Ashes, it's just
Yeah.
a wee monopoly.
They are tiny as fuck. It's actually embarrassing.
It is
It is actually embarrassing. I
I'm
feel
no-
sorry for them.
no
man.
disrespect, right? If you like cricket, that's you, right? That's if you like it, you like it.
Obviously,
But
yeah.
I think it's honestly the worst sport in the world. Like the most
Uh-huh.
boring sport in the world.
Lewis,
What?
I would agree with you if it wasn't coming from you, since you enjoy playing golf.
Golf's good.
You enjoy no, but it's the same concept, really.
Golf's
Cricket-
better than cricket.
Cricket, you have
Golf's much better. Do you know why it's
a
better?
flat baseball bat.
No, let me explain why it's better, right? Do you know what it stands for?
No,
Oh no!
It stands for gentlemen only, ladies forbidden.
no,
doesn't
it
mean women.
doesn't.
It does actually. Google it.
That is what
Google
golf
it.
stands for.
Fuck off. No, it
It
doesn't.
does.
Yeah, it is.
That's funny. I don't know how women in that don't say it's
Stand
sexist. It's quite
toxic
funny.
masculinity. Sorry. I'm,
This podcast will get golf cancelled.
gee, I didn't even know that. What the fuck? I'm surprised.
I only
not
found that out
anyone
like
said
last month or something. So there you
It's
go.
a gentleman's sport.
And a month ago, that's when you got into it, Lewis. That makes sense. Of course, you want to play a sport without women.
Yep.
Fuck's sake. Right,
I said, do
continue.
you know what netball stands for?
What?
Never eat trampolines.
To be fair, golf isn't that bad.
No, golf's not
I-
fun.
It's not as boring as most. I love.
It's
by the way,
good.
see volleyball. Volleyball's sick.
That's
have
alright.
you ever-
I didn't mind it
If,
in PE.
if you've watched Asian football, holy shit. No, sorry, not football. Sorry, volleyball. They are fucking insane.
Same with badminton.
Mate.
They're mental at badminton.
Mate, I'm actually really good at badminton.
Nah, I'd be.
What about table tennis?
I'm alright.
See there.
And that's how I played.
I was
in-
going to ask that actually, Charlie. I was going to ask something related to that. Is like, what is a sport that you really think not really many people like and you like it?
I would say,
What, is
yeah.
it
I
that,
would
is it that
say-
pony play? See with the wee stick with the horsey seed on it?
I think I really like.
Oh, for God's sake! I'm not having this.
Right, let's you do it. What you really like?
I'm sorry, right. So throughout this episode, you'll notice that Charlie's not been speaking because I've been cutting out all the parts he's silent in, right? But I'm not cutting this bit out. Had enough of him. So
Right, Les. So what's a sport that's not highly rated that you quite like watching?
I would say golf, but that's quite highly rated. Not as highly rated as football and that, but still is. I'd probably say badminton. I like badminton.
I'd probably say ice hockey, but that is quite popular. But the other one is curling.
Curling. Is that not the
Quite like
Irish one?
curling? No, on the ice.
Oh, right. Alright. Is curling not an Irish thing as well? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I know what you mean.
Winter Olympics thing.
I call that ice bowling.
Ah, I see. We've just got an update from Charlie Orama. His internet is off.
Well, that is quality, so I would say this episode's probably about half an hour long, so that's average. So since one of our co-hosts is gone, I think we should just end this. Because
we've
Charlotte
anything
is the one
else
that
we need
drags
to
it
talk
on.
to?
Aye, so let's end it.
Ah, well.
Right, thank you, we racist, for watching.
No.
Can I finish like that?
No.
Calling the racist have done nothing wrong but listen to our podcast. Are we going to end it, or are we just going to sit in silence?
I don't know.
I think we should end it, because Charlie will come on and go, "What's happening?"
Just stop recording and we'll.
Nah, I'm ending it. Aye, I'm ending it. Right. Thanks for watching. See you next episode.